What if photography was less about making images and more about building a life around people? I think a lot of us begin photography alone, figuring out a camera alone, looking for images alone. Some of my most meaningful moments with photography happened by myself, but over time I realized the photos I cared about the most were attached to people. Sometimes they were attached to conversations, shared rituals, someone texting you after a gallery visit saying, "That exhibit is still sitting with me." Some photos are attached to someone willing to wake up at 6 a.m. for foggy weather because they know it matters to you. I think the easiest form of connection through photography is connection through yourself. One of the easiest ways to deepen that relationship is by visiting galleries and looking at a lot of people's work. You don't even need to fully understand the work. Sometimes it's enough to stand in front of a photograph and feel your own memories start surfacing. It might be a certain color palette that you're looking at that might remind you of childhood, or a portrait that might remind you of someone you lost contact with, or even a documentary series that makes you realize how little you know about someone else's experience of the world. All of that is still connection. I have talked a lot on this channel about going on photo walks, and it's not everyone's cup of tea, and I totally understand. But that is how a lot of people meet their first photography friends. One thing to remember is that you don't need to arrive charismatic or deeply knowledgeable. Most people are nervous at first, but cameras give people something to orbit around together. And a lot of communities exist because people are searching for exactly this, a reason to make photography human again. I think one reason how photography gives people connection is that it gives people a role. Some friendships struggle because there's no shared activity holding them together. Some of my non-hobby-based friendships are a bit awkward. Typically, I meet them at work, and when you do catch up after you've left the common workplace, you probably sit across from each other awkwardly over coffee, catching up over the latest gossip, but that has an expiry date if you have nothing else beyond that. Shared hobbies like photography remove that pressure. Now you're exploring, problem solving, looking, waiting, reacting. You're collaborating without needing to formally call it collaboration. And over time, those repeated small interactions build familiarity. You begin recognizing the people who always kneel down to photograph details nobody else notices, or the person who shoots the same alley every season, or the person who gets excited about overcast weather. Friendship grows from repeated proximity around shared attention, and photography creates that shared attention naturally. And then there's the next stage. The stage where photography stops being something you simply do beside other people and starts becoming something that you build together. For me, one example was doing print swaps with my friend Thomas in Norway. We would give each other a keyword, sometimes abstract, sometimes emotional, and then we'd go through our archives or make new work inspired by that word and physically mail prints to each other. I love that process because the photographs became less about technical quality and more about interpretation. I'd ask myself, what image would someone across the world understand how I see things? A print swap sounds simple on paper, but emotionally, it's surprisingly intimate. You're trusting someone with the way you interpret the world. And then in February, I did a black and white challenge with my friend Sievert. We were both feeling creatively stuck in different ways, so we decided to shoot exclusively in black and white for the entire month. Every week, we'd send each other our favorite images, holding each other accountable. Just two friends trying to reconnect with photography together. And I think that experience reminded me how motivating it is to create alongside someone else, even long distance. There was a sense of accountability to keep going out and paying attention, even on days when inspiration felt far away. Sievert wrote about his side of the experience on his blog, which I'll link below, and it was meaningful realizing that even from different countries, photography could still become this shared rhythm between two people. And then there were the group zines I made with my photography friend group. I asked everyone to send me 5 photographs taken within a certain time frame. And while assembling the zine, I wrote an introduction about what their friendship and this shared hobby of photography meant to me. I still think zines are one of the most beautiful forms of photographic connection because they create permanence. Images stop floating endlessly through feeds and start living together in a shared object, something you can hold on to years later. And maybe more importantly, they become evidence that a group of people existed together at a certain point in time and cared enough to make something collectively. I think physical photographs slow relationships down in a healthy way. A print asks for commitment. You have to choose the image carefully, print it intentionally, package it, mail it, hand it to someone. And that effort communicates something. And when somebody gives you a print in return, it feels different from just receiving a file. You realize they wanted this image to physically exist in your hands, in your life. And I sometimes wonder if part of why photographers feel disconnected today is because our images move too fast now. We barely sit with our own work before replacing it with newer work. Prints resist that pace. Zines resist that pace. Shared projects resist that pace. Most photography friendships do not begin at the stage of let's travel across a city for a deeply personal documentary project. They begin very small. A conversation after a photo walk, a shared coffee after an exhibit. A lot of meaningful creative friendships are built through accumulated reliability. People showing up repeatedly, following through, staying curious about each other. I think photography becomes richer when it stops being only about output, when it becomes a way of noticing people, a reason to gather, a structure for memory, a language for care. And maybe the beautiful thing is that every stage matters. The solo gallery visit matters. The awkward first photo walk matters. The print swap matters. The tiny collaborative zine matters. And if you haven't found those people yet, I hope you continue putting yourselves in places where connection can happen. Sometimes that's all photography really is, an invitation to keep showing up.
Has friendship ever helped you articulate something you couldn't name on your own?
Oh, wow.
Deep.
I think of Alex when I think of this question. So, our mutual friend Alex.
I'm going to post a photo somewhere.
Yes.
Alex, we love you.
We love you. We miss you. It was when, I think a year ago, we first went on a photo walk. He asked me why I started my YouTube channel.
Right.
And I said, I think I created it out of loneliness. And I had never said that out loud. I always knew it inside me, inside in my mind, in my heart. But it took him asking me to actually be truthful about it. Because I think I would tell people I had a YouTube channel because, oh, I just want to like practice video editing. I want to be the change I want to see in the world, in the photography YouTube world, where it's just like a bunch of guys talking about gear, and I wanted it to be something different. But deep down, I think the way Alex asked me that question begged for like a very honest answer. I went home that night thinking about it a little bit more because I felt half embarrassed that I said that, because it's almost, I felt like it was a sad admission to say that you're lonely.
Right.
And
part of me was also felt free that I could say that out loud.